What makes your father a man in his generation cannot make you a man now?
How do you mean?
Because everything don't change. Well, like, everything don't change. See, if someone in those olden days is mentoring you now how to be a man, you are running on an outdated knowledge, outdated script. Because what makes your father a man cannot make you a man. What makes my grandfather a man cannot make me a man now. Because back in those days, our grandparents, my grandfather and my grandmother, they were depending on each other for survival. Men in those days, they would go out for hunting, bring in the food, and the women would prepare surviving. And do you know why they did not divorce?
Why?
Because divorce was very expensive. Your grandmother could not afford it.
It's true. To an extent, it's true.
Yes, because in this generation now, if you say to a lady, I'm not interested again, they have moved on. They even don't go and file divorce because it's affordable and they have the money. So what makes those people men in their generation cannot make us a man now? Why? Because things have changed. Back in those days, if you have money, they say you're a man. But now you meet a woman that has money more than you. I've dated a woman that has money more than me. So in that kind of a case, how do you be a man? If you think your car, your house is what makes you a man, you meet a woman that has more cars, that has houses. How will you be a man in his life? In her life?
That's kind of, it's true anyway. It's true. Because, but another angle I was even thinking of this is the fact that you say divorce is expensive. Actually, it is, but then it is for the women. It's sort of they benefit from it, don't you think? Because a woman who gets married to someone like Bill Gates and suddenly decides they want to go their separate ways, don't you think that eventually she's going to get a large share of his property when she goes to the court? Because I think that is what is in vogue these days. Women, they want to get settled down with a rich person, but eventually
a contract.
The marriage becomes like a contract. But I don't know if it's the same within the Nigerian context.
I think they are just benefiting in this generation. It was not there.
It's true.
Yeah, it was not there. I stand to be corrected though. It was not there. Because I think the level of exposure in this generation is on the high side than the previous generation.
So are you going to say, do you think it has something to do with technology in terms of the exposure? Because I don't know if exposure has a bad thing.
See, I'm a social media manager. I work online. I can tell you that it has a lot to do with technology. Why? Technology is it has its own advantage, but at the same time is killing a whole lot of stuff in the society. For example, now you see somebody, you have issues with your marriage. Instead of you to reach out to someone that has the tool, the clarity, the direction to actually help you navigate through that phase, you come on social media and look for one influencer with trauma and say, please add my identity, please advise me. I look for advice on social media and they'll advise you on rubbish, and you used to apply in your marriage and it crash. Then you say marriage is a scam. Meanwhile, now you be the scam, you know marriage. Anything God created is not scam. It is the users that scam. Marriage is good. It is the people who are into it that are not. They're not doing well, so you think marriage is not good. It's actually good. So technology has a lot of impact, both negative and positive impact. A lot of people are not using technology in this generation, rather technology is using them. Most of the influencers I've encountered on social media, they have trauma. They're advising you based on their trauma. If you pay attention to people's words, you will see trauma. They advise you based from their pain point. That is why if you try to attack them, if you try to counter them, they feel like as if you are attacking them. So when you counter them, indirectly you're attacking their wounds. They respond. Some people are still bleeding. some people are still bleeding. There are some points in my life that I had to tell myself the truth. That I had to check all the relationships I've been. I realized that the problem was not those women, it was me. Or something inside of me that needs to heal.
What you say about relationships you have been? How many relationships? Because you look like a man that would like woman. So how many relationships per se, and what were the lessons you learned from these relationships, from these women?
Which one be like woman? Why would I like? It's you that would like.
I'm just being specific. You said that from all the relationships you have been in, and perhaps you must have learned one or two things. So I'm being this thing pragmatic here. So what were those things you learned? It's experiences, you learned from them, things about yourself, you learned about yourself. Because definitely, for you to be a sexuality education advocate, there are things you need, there are experiences you will probably share with your audience. And I'm just curious. I want to know the things you have, because for somebody that have been through relationship, I don't know how many anyway, because that is not a thing men divulge.
Yeah, right.
So, but I'm just curious. I want to know what are those things you've learned from those relationships so far.
I learned a lot, and some might sound so weird to you.
Okay.
At 22, I was dating this girl. She was in her final year. She was a pharmacy student. She taught me how to use roll-on.
Wow.
And I didn't feel bad. 22. I didn't used to use roll-on because I didn't have body odor. So I had this mindset of I used to like use roll-on when I don't have body odor.
That you don't have body odor, and you
honestly I did. Naturally, I hardly sweat.
Okay.
Except I do something, I had jobs, and I sweat. Even as in my house, I don't use fan. So she taught me how to use roll-on. I'm a very teachable person. She taught me. I learned a lot from her. And there's one girl I dated.
Sorry. How that experience feel? How did she actually teach you how to use roll-on? Like, did she observe a particular? Was there a whiff of odor emanating? That, because I'm saying this because if I'm the one, a woman asks me, "I'm not using roll-on."
Okay, you feel like you're smelling.
Yes. Okay. Like, what was that reaction?
The stuff is that okay. She came to my house. She stayed like 1 week. So she noticed my routine. She noticed that each time I take my bath, I don't have to use roll-on. Okay. So she was like, they use roll-on. Why? Like, nah. She actually gave me one. She bought one for me first. Wow. When I went to I had to go and buy my own. Since that date, I've been using roll-on. Now, the issue is that another thing is that women can actually teach us things, but how you present this thing to us matter. If you notice something that doesn't sit well with me in your life, my points are valid, but how I present that thing to you matter. But listen up, yourself. I'm trying to rub that thing in your face. So she just sat me down and said, she didn't put it on my face as if say I did smell. No. Yeah. Correction is good, but how you correct someone matters. So I learned that, and this other girl that I dated, she's from Benue State. She taught me how to cook fried rice.
Okay.
She taught me how to cook fried rice. And there's this other girl that I dated. She has more money than me. She actually taught me how to be a man. Like when I dated this girl, she has money, so I'm like, what can I give her? So I had to build a skill. I had to build value that she cannot see elsewhere.
What sort of value?
Value that, for example, leadership. I was actually the one that actually helped her to discover her purpose.
Okay.
I learned listening. Most of the women I've dated, they always say that I have listening in your ass. I can listen to them. You can be talking to me for like 1 hour or just listening to you. And they are so vulnerable around me. Like, imagine you just meet a lady on a space of 2 months, she will tell you all the bad things she has done. It's a skill. And I think it's because I really want to be a sex therapist. I think that skill actually will actually help me. And there are a lot of people's secret that I have inside in my head. You never hear me say it.
Don't want to hear.
It's something I've trained myself. I can't even tell you.
Alright, that is actually interesting. Talking about secrets, do you ever keep a secret from your partner? Maybe something that it's dicey, delicate. Do you ever keep certain delicate information away from your partner?
That's a very interesting question. A very nice question. I keep secret from my partner, especially when I realize that you don't have the capacity to retain some information.
Okay.
Some people that it's not every information you share with someone. Before you share with someone, look at their capacity. Do they have what it takes to absorb that information? Do they have that emotional intelligence? And they keep it within themselves? You see, it's very, very important. That's why I used to tell people, your friend is not your therapist. So that person is a professional therapist, but your friend is not a therapist. Why? Because when you tell someone something, if they are not trained to handle that information, they will start to share it. Not because they are bad people, but they are just doing what untrained people does. An untrained person cannot keep information. You can't. Okay, for example now, maybe a lady now, you have 10 body count. And you meet a man now that is not emotionally intelligent, that has not trained his mind to I don't know how to put it. Like
absorb those.
Yes, to absorb that kind of information. He will start using it against you. But if you share with someone like me now, I'll just laugh. But normally, some of the women I've encountered through my secret education, I used to tell them, no, you're putting a man already. If it is pain, tell him to.
Okay. Have you perhaps fallen out with one of your girlfriends, and in the process, perhaps a heated argument erupted, and you spilled out certain things out of anger? She told you.
Yes, all those things happen when I did not heal, when I did not work on my trauma. You see, sometimes when people say things and you react, you are reacting based on the trauma that lies inside of you. Because sometimes what they are saying is actually to help you, but you are seeing as if they are attacking you. So sometimes in social and behavioral change communication, we call it BDM, behavioral drive model. It's something that drives us to behave the way we behave sometimes. And one of the things I've discovered is trauma. Trauma can drive you to behave anyhow. You'll be like, why am I like this? It's an inner something you need to work. If the inside does not heal, it will reflect on the outside. So I've always had those arguments. Very simple something, or that just a little clear communication that will have just stopped that issue. But I did not understand, and I went back. And one thing that has actually helped me in my journey is honesty. I'm honest with myself. I don't, before I used to, any relationship I go into, it does not work, I will say, hey, the case like this, no. I'll come and say, me, what thing I do? Did I do right? I will spoil myself. I say, okay, next time. In campaign, we call it learning and researching. You research and you learn. Okay, while you were researching, what did you learn? So I ask myself, okay, what have I researched about myself and what have I learned about myself? I apply it in the future. That really helped me. So if you leave a particular relationship, the next one should be better than the previous one.
I like what you said about yourself, about being methodological, in the sense that you are intentional. It's like looking at yourself in the mirror and beholding your image, your reflection, not another person's, and telling yourself the truth. Okay, what are those things I missed out in my previous relationship? Why did it not work? Was it as a result of the other person, or perhaps it was something I did at some point or said that did not go down well? So I like the fact that you're honest with yourself, because not every man is able to look himself in the mirror and tell himself the truth. Okay, you are the one. Perhaps you were at fault at some point in that relationship.
You are right. If men can be honest with themselves, your relationship is like a mirror. If you look at it, if you look at your girlfriend very well, you will see you will see your vices. You will see your flaws. If you can, relationship is like a mirror. When someone complains, say, why are you behaving like this? Pay attention to yourself. It's like a mirror. It's a feedback. It's a feedback. Communication is a feedback. Communication is a feedback on things you should improve and things you should let go. But the issue is that some people are not honest with themselves. They feel they are perfect.
There's also something there's a curious question. I want to know what your ideal woman is. If you have any idea, because when you talk about ideal in this sense, I don't know. I don't so much believe in the notion ideal, because ideal simply means
a particular person,
and it's not real. It's fiction or fictional. So let me still ask, what is your ideal woman? What are the qualities you look out for in such a woman?
My ideal woman is in two forms. The one my flesh loves and the will of God. And let me explain that for you. Normally my flesh, my physical body, I love chubby women. Women are very thick, very succulent. And a woman that is teachable. I don't need a perfect woman, because your imperfection, I'm going to compliment that, and my imperfection, you're going to compliment that. I love a woman that is very teachable, a woman that she's ignorant and humble. Not ignorant, you don't know anything and you still get pride. A woman that, I don't know this thing, can you teach? I love that. And it's like love. And also a woman that, because a woman that is teachable, you can easily teach her how to feel good. You can teach her so many things. You can teach her to be financially wise. You can teach her so many things. And finally, I like a woman that is success driven, not career driven, because not everybody will be into career. A woman that is success driven. She said, I want to go into business and I want to succeed. She goes for it. A woman that knows what she wants. And finally, I like a woman that is real. That's my real woman, real. If she's angry, say she's angry. If she's mad, say she's mad.
She does not camouflage it.
But I don't want to use those lens and search for a life partner. Rather, my ideal woman is the will of God. Because inside the will of God, there is my will. with my little experience in life, I started paying house rent when I was 17 years old plus. Since then, I've been living alone. So life has taught me that you can submit to the will of God. Inside His will, you will see your will.
Okay.
Yes, inside His will, you will see your own will there. But it's just that sometimes we are not patient. We are not patient with Him, and patient is easier said than done. No. It's a skill.
Yeah.
If God tells you, I will do this thing for you tomorrow, tomorrow can be 10 years. And if God says, I'll do this thing for you 15 years, 15 years can be the next 1 second. So God ways can't understand it. So my dear woman is the will of God. In as much as I love chubby women, I love all these things that I tell you, still submit to the will of God. So I want to marry the will of God. But please, God, I beg. God, I know you're watching this video. God, I beg. Let your will be chubby.
All right.
Please.
Because I wanted to ask, what if this will of God and plus your own will engraved in it? What if it's not even what he's looking at? What if the woman is not chubby, does not have the big boobs, does not have the ass? She's just plain. Oh, will you still go for her?
Give me grace to follow. Abundant grace to follow.
Oh my God.
Oh, give me grace to follow that.
Because there's one time I was asked the same question. What if this person that is the will of God does not even have some of these qualities in terms of physical attributes, but then she has what it takes to really help a man succeed and also succeed himself? So will you still choose her?
I will still choose her. Like I said, the will of God.
She doesn't look like what's a mental picture of the woman in your head. Because
God will give me grace to follow, and I feel sometimes, the more you evolve, the more your taste change. One thing I've observed about me is that the more I make money, the more my taste for women change. At first I used to say, when I have money, I want women, I big men, big. When I noticed that all those things does not make sense. You need a woman that can actually sit down with you and she's teaching you out value. So I might say I love Chubby now. The next 3 years now I might change.
Okay.
Yeah, might change. So I'm evolving. At this level of my life now, this level of my thought process now, this is what I want. But I might change. But I still want the will of God.
Okay, let's create a bit of a diversion with this question. Now let's go more deeply into your career, your career prospect. Where do you see yourself in the next, because I don't like using future, perhaps in the nearest 5 years, the next 4 years, 6 years, in terms of, or 10 years in terms of your career as a sexual educational advocate, and also what you're currently studying as a mass communication student?
Okay, currently I'm studying mass communication, like you said, at Liverpool University. In the next 10 years, I see myself using media to promote sexuality education.
Okay.
Like I'm building Sexuality organization. I want it to be a brand whereby we create a safe space for people to be vulnerable, for people to get solutions to their problem, their sexual related problem. And I see myself also getting married, settling down, because this career honestly is anything.
Sure, you meet a lot of women.
So I need to get married. And I see myself traveling across different African countries, hosting conferences on sex education. Like that's what I want to do. I just want to I want to dedicate my life to it. Like I want it to consume me. That's what I want to dedicate my life to. That's I see myself in the next 10 years. And also in the next 10 years, I also see myself impacting young people. Having team that also believe in what I believe. But even choose other teams. So people that I can tell them, can represent me there. So the next 10 years is not far. It's not far, it's very near. So that's what I see myself.
Okay. Once you get deep headlong into your career, how do you plan to handle situations where perhaps you have a woman, a couple who comes meet you, and maybe the woman is not being able, perhaps she has conception issues, perhaps she has been barren for like say 10, 20 years, maybe less, and how do you give counsel to such a couple? And bear in mind that you are not a doctor anyway, but then how do you what can be your counsel for
like the systems in place?
What do you think you can advise such couple to do?
The stuff is that one thing I've discovered in my journey is that for you to get a particular solution to a problem, you need collaboration. What I'm building is that I don't want to be the only person people comes with. So there's a system that I'm building in Sexopedia, whereby we have counselors, we have therapists, we have marriage counselors, conflict resolution expert, medical doctors. So if we get your file across to us, people will sit down and view it. You say, okay, let's meet this person. This is where we'll come in. This is where we'll come in. It's not something that will just handle. Because that's one thing that I've seen in the church. A case that a doctor is supposed to be involved. The doctor will say, no, don't worry, God has taken care of. I trust in God, I believe in God, I believe in miraculous power. But I believe collaboration will help us to solve a whole lot of problems in Africa. One man cannot know everything now. One man cannot know everything.
Sure.
One man, no matter how anointed you are, you still need to collaborate. And not just collaborate with the right people. That like mind, that believes in your vision, it will actually help you. So that is the system that I've set in place. If someone comes to me now, I will not just advise you from the perspective of a marriage counselor. I will say, oh, let's look at this in the medical aspect, let's look at this in the spiritual aspect, let's look at this. So many things involved, because for someone to be barren for more than 15 years, there's something wrong.
Sure.
So you don't just look at it from the surface. Go deep.
Looking at because you're the kind of person with a vision that can run wild and go far. So when you meet people from different countries, different cultural backgrounds, how do you think you can actually blend in without losing your own cultural aesthetics? For instance, you want to counsel a couple that's from Australia. How do you think you can actually counsel them, give them advice, give them tangible advice that can help their marriage without also losing your own bearing as a Nigerian in such a way that how can you manage in terms of the order of the different cultures that you are going to meet, the people from different countries? How do you intend to manage couples that will come from different, diverse language, diverse tongue, diverse beliefs, systems? How do you intend to really manage?
It's all about you coming up with strategies. Because the way I relate to know the same way I relate to someone. That's why as a counselor, you need to be very versatile. To watch movies, see people thought process. So in this kind of a case, the most important thing is that you have a listening skill. Listening. Counselor does not talk, just listen. Have a listening skill. Pay attention to their thought process. And also try to read versatile so that you know people's culture and diversity and a whole lot of stuff. To actually help you to relate with them. For example, now, if someone should coming from Kenya, I know their donation. I'll say this one Kenya. If someone coming from Zimbabwe, from Botswana, I know their donation because I have friends from there. If someone's coming from South Africa, I know their donation. Why? Because I relate with them. Sometimes you need to move beyond sex education. Move beyond. Try to know what is happening in those countries also. That's why we have the internet. You read, you study.
Okay, how does your wife, the woman you're going to settle down, how does she come in here to assist you? And how do you what is going to be her role in this whole because it's not just an academy, it's like a movement. So what is going to be her role in this?
Well, I won't because I don't know if I'm going to get married to someone that is into what I'm into. Okay. So it's not a more than much. She must be into sex education, but at least I want to marry someone that is aligned. She might be into her own thing, but let her be a queen in that thing. I'm also making my own lane. So her role is just to be there for me, support me in prayers, intellectual. I need someone that I can brainstorm with, someone that I come back from work, something's not going well with me, we sit down and iron it out. Someone that I advise is an innovation on its own. Now, it does not mean that she should be perfect from the one.
Sure.
But let her learn on the job. Marriage is a job, so let her learn. So our role is just to be there for me, give me that peace of mind, help me out, help me. Be that safe space for me to learn and also to release.
All right. This has been a beautiful conversation. And one last question I have in mind is if you are to rate the women you've been with from 1 to 10, what particular number of value do you think
I gave them?
Like if you were to rate all the women you've been with or dated from 1 to 10, what number do you think you can give to them? Or which number?
Okay, on a scale of
1
to 10. That's a deep question, On a scale of 1 to 10.
That the kind of person that if you think about her, you wish you had not ended things with her.
Oh, there's this girl I used to love, 80 Sound Dimas. I love that girl. Like, she used to give me that safe space to be a baby, be a lion self, be a king. Like, I like that girl. I've never fallen in love since I left. I've never fallen in love with her. I mean, a girl that one day I was so sick. I was coming back from work with my friend. I was coming back from school. You know, this community school. They normally do compound work every Friday. She was coming back, and it was around 8. I heard her voice. Sickness disappeared. I swear, I know lying.
Power of love.
I've not. That thing called instant healing. I loved Titi and Demas. That was one big girl. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give her 9. The rest of the women I've actually dated, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give them 6. Because most of them were also going through their processes. Most of them, they were not refined. And there's something about one thing. There's something about consistent heartbreak. When you date someone that has consistent heartbreak, the love you get from that person is half-baked. Because the person is dating you with the mindset of, let me give him, I'm just doubting him. I'm just giving it a try.
But some of them graduates. Some of them, did they go to school?
No, only 3 were graduates.
So being a graduate does not really extricate one from
it does not
trauma or whatever.
School does not school you out of trauma. Trauma is something that you need a tool to navigate. You need a therapist, a counselor, so many things. Like you need books, you need a whole lot of stuff to navigate your way out of trauma. So school does not. No. I've seen people that they have masters but they still have trauma. In fact, they have masters in trauma.
That is
so. Most of those girls, I wouldn't say they are bad. They were good. They were like a mirror of reflection to me that work on myself. I wouldn't blame them because some of them they come from some. These things has to do with family.
Yeah.
Where someone is brought up has a lot of impact on their relationship. I actually date a lady that did not have a good relationship with her father. She's the most mess in my life. So sometimes when I look at her, I say it's not her fault. It's not her fault. Something that people do is not their fault. Something that they have seen over time. Over time, you see a young man is raised with a father that used to beat his mother. It's a very high tendency that young man will beat his girlfriend one day, his wife. Because children, we learn from what we see. Right. So that is just it, and I really miss some of them, especially 80s and Demas. I really miss. But I want to go back to of them. No.
Why?
No. I want to move on. I've moved on. No, I want to move on. It did not work. I just need to move on.
But this one, you have this strong attachment to, not like an attachment, but then when you think about, based on the question, when you think about it, you are still drawn to your ex that is from Akwa Ibom. But you've said you will not want to date anyone from
Jesus.
So why are you not talking about Akwa Ibom? I'm actually surprised because you told me was that if there's anyone you're going to settle down with, either from the north or from the south,
Yoruba or Igbo.
What? You never said Igbo anyway.
Igbo never on my list.
Perhaps let's say it's actually the last. But then you never talked about your own people. So why do you miss?
Okay, you see, I don't really have one place I brought up with. I'm a traveler. Therefore, 17 years old, I've been traveling. I've traveled to about 16 states. No, not 16. I think 16 states in Nigeria.
Wow.
So I've live here. One of these places, I've not seen my travel people. So I fall in love with the Northern girls, with the Yorubas. So the fact that I said that I don't want to date, I don't want to marry my tribal women, that I've related with these women so much that I've become these strangers. I won't call them strangers, but these daughters from another mother. They are part of me. I just like them, especially the Yoruba women, the Northern women, the Igbo. I just like them. I grew up among them. It was like my life journey, reflect around these people. I just like them.
Don't know why another question is popping up, but I hope this be the last. What is your own take about people who end their relationships and then going back to their ex, not on the ground? There are some that go on the ground of having one last stand with them, but then there are some that reconnect. What is your own take about keeping your ex's phone number in your phone. I mean, her number in your phone, still storing her phone number, perhaps still being in communication. Do you think if you are still in communication with your ex, it sort of stirs up old feelings?
It depends on your emotional capacity, how you can handle things. Yeah. To me, every relationship was not a marriage, but every relationship should end well. So because you and I know the knack again, you and I know we are not dating. It doesn't mean to quarrel. We should just pass for enemies. Abba, I might be a president of Nigeria tomorrow, and I might help you. And you might be governor, and you might help me out. Yeah. So those people that reconnect back with their ex and it work out and they get married, it actually meant it was meant to be. Maybe they discovered their mistakes along the line and decided to correct it and come back and work it out. For those that are still in tango, there's so many things involved. It will be sex. It will be sex. The way the man they knock them, maybe them be that doggy. He say, "Oh more, I don't feel leave you." So when she now move on, and this her husband cannot knock her well, she remember her ex. Sometimes it's sex stuff, and so women cannot control it. Sex stuff, and it's sex stuff. They want to go back to the ex, and sometimes those that go back to the ex, that don't know what they want. They have accepted to settle for less. And sometimes it's true, man. Probably they will not love her too. And it's only this one guy that will try to give her something that looks like love, but not love. Not like the guy is beating her, maltreating her, but she thinks that's her safe space. And she has brainwashed herself to believe that there is no perfect person out there. There's nobody out there. Now, like, have you met Williams? Well, like, have you met me? Ghana Nico? Oh, I mean, it's me now. So you get, so there are a whole lot of stuff that relate to why most of these things happen. But your ex should not be a bad person. All relationship must not end in marriage, but it should end well. If it did not end well, fine, learn your lesson, get out. That's all my exes that I still call, like one.
What done for what?
Like we just talk. I just say hello, how you doing? That's all.
I don't trust you, but let's leave it that way. Okay, it has been a fantastic conversation with the William Jimmy, and I had a nice time talking with him. I never thought I would be this natural talking with him, because if we are not even facing the camera, we'll be talking and we'll be neck deep in conversation. Yeah. So, and time will be running along. So yes, I really enjoyed myself tonight, and I hope you did. Did. And
thank you so much for the wonderful questions, conversation. I learned a lot. I love your thought process. The question you ask is a reflection of how you think, value inside of you. Please, guys, subscribe to this channel, the William Jimmy. Follow me on social media, the William Jimmy, on Instagram, on Facebook, and on TikTok. We are building a platform where people can be vulnerable, people can be themselves, a safe space where you can get solutions to your problem, sex-related issues. I talk about sex, you know that thing. Talk about doggy without. So see you guys in our next conversation. Bye.
Bye.